The Weatherill Government has caved to public pressure, pledging to guarantee automatic compensation for CFS volunteers who contract cancer in the line of duty. Labor previously argued the scheme would be too costly, but its estimate proved more than 10 times too high.
The CFS has been up in arms that a generous scheme fully covering professional firefighters for work-related cancers wasn't extended to volunteers, at least until now.
We have agreed to modify the proposition that we put into Parliament last year to provide a greater scope for benefit.
Or in other words,
the government has performed a spectacular backflip.
The change removes a heavy burden on CFS volunteers with cancer to prove they contracted it in the line of duty, a change Labor previously argued would cost $90 million.
This model would have a cost in the order of about $7 million.
Independent Jeff Brock sought a commitment to revisit the scheme when he gave Labor his decisive support after the March election.
If the CFS Volunteers Association are happy with the outcome, I'm happy with the result of that.
We are. We're satisfied. We think it's probably the best scheme in Australia.
But disappointment lingers that it's taken this long.
Yes, we were. It would have been nice if this happened 2 years ago.
In retrospect, we probably should have given more thought to that.
Campaigners for CFS compensation pleased with the outcome, if not the process.
The government has had to be dragged kicking and screaming to this.
And South Australians are going back to the polls with a date set for a key by-election. Political reporter Tom Richardson joins us now. Tom, what's the latest?
Kate, voters in the southern suburb seat of Fisher will go back to the ballot box on Saturday the 6th of December. They'll decide on a new member after the recent death of independent and one-time Liberal Bob Such. Now, in response to that news, former Liberal leader Ian Evans, who'd already flagged his retirement, announced he'd leave Parliament next week to facilitate a by-election in the neighbouring seat of Davenport on the same date. But Speaker Mick Atkinson has already knocked that idea on the head, saying there'll be no by-election in Davenport till early next year. Now, while both seats are considered Liberal-leaning, the opposition will be keen to avoid the mistakes of the March state election. Will you be urging people to vote Labor?
No, I certainly will not.
Can I put it this way? I think they're both losable.
Indeed, just an hour ago, Labor unveiled a high-profile candidate in Fisher, Nat Cook, who founded the Sammy D Foundation to honour her son, Sam Davis, who died from a one-punch assault. So the upshot is, if you're suffering election fatigue after the state poll in March, the bad news is, guys, there's plenty more to come.
Yeah, indeed.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.